This is Chuck Saunders with Saunders Archery, and today I'd like to introduce the Hyperglide cable rod slide. The Hyperglide is using several technologies to give you a high performance cable slide. The white material is a sintered material. It's a hybrid material that is composed of several super slick materials. It has to be sintered made. That means it's made under pressure. It has an offset on it so that one cable string which rides a little bit lower, one that rides a little bit higher. But if you notice very carefully, all of the edges are bugled so that they're radiused and flared, which means that not only is it slicker than the other white slides that are out there, it's also more forgiving to your cable slides themselves. Actual structure is made up of three basic components. Cradle, you have a wheel which with this axle slips right down in the very center, and it just simply slips down. You give it a little bit of a push and it snaps into its location. The assembly of the slide is very easy. After you've removed your existing slide, you slide this foam bumper onto the unit first, which is mostly an indicator of how far it's traveling. Because this wheel is so low in friction compared to the other types of slides that you'll end up traveling further than you have before. And it's part of the reason that many people gain speed when they switch over to this slide. So what you do is the foam goes on first, you slide this on second, you align your offset to match the offset of whichever cable's further back or further forward. You slip this into the cradle like this, and it just snaps. Make sure you hear both sides snap. That's the end of it. It's a quick, fast installation, very good in performance. The main advantages besides the increase in speed is that it doesn't chatter, and you don't get the chattering noise you do with a conventional slide under wet conditions where there's moisture on the rod itself. This will behave smooth and consistent throughout a huge temperature range. The little O-ring that's around this wheel is for grip, to allow that wheel to react very positively, very accurately. But it's a special O-ring. It's actually made out of silicone, so it can remain compliant and good down to 30 below zero. I'd like to emphasize the importance of this foam bumper. It is mostly used just as an indicator of how far it's traveling. The reason that we're doing that is that the berry surface on here is so smooth and reduces friction so much on the bow that the travel of the slide can be greater than your existing slide. So it's important to mark how far it's traveling. The reason that that's important is that there are a couple things that can go wrong. One is that some cable rods have a bend in them. If the cable slide is going around that bend, it can pry open the slide and pop it apart. The second thing is that when it's traveling forward, it can actually travel up and hit a component that's on the bow. It could be the riser itself, it could be another accessory that's on the bow. You want to know how far it is traveling. The foam indicator, when it comes up, you set it up right where you normally draw. When you draw back, it comes here. When you fire, it comes up and it moves this, and you find out how far it's traveled. That gives you an indication we're in good shape or not good shape, if there's any other things that you have to be watching out for. The slide is a good all-around cable rod slide. It's one of the most popular that we've ever produced, and it is a very popular and good slide to use. I hope you'll give it a try. This is Chuck Saunders with Saunders Archery. Always wear safety glasses, shoot well, shoot safe, and shoot honorably.